Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, we're doing a giveaway at the end of February. So all you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video, and we will draw a name out and send out a mystery package. All right, enjoy the tip. Thanks. Okay guys, all right, welcome back. This is Wayne again, and I have a video about refurbishing a Kirby. Okay, and this is responding to someone who wanted to know what's the process, and I guess this person is, doing it themselves. And because at home you're probably not going to get into what I'm about to show you, but if you are someone who's looking to send their machine to us for us to work on, maybe this will kind of give you an idea of what I'm doing and where I'm going with these things. But if you are someone who's doing this for someone, or you have a shop, or you're starting to sell them online, or you get some old ones from yard sales and you want to resell them or whatever, this is what you can do. But first, let me show you what I'm working with. Take a look at this. This is a Centria, right? And this is the stage that it's in now. And this is what I'm looking to turn it into. I'll give you an example. This is a G4 that I just finished. All right, so I'm kind of looking for it to look like this G4 here, okay? All right, so how do we start? Okay, so bear with me. We're gonna the first thing I like to do is, personally, I strip the whole unit down bare bones and clean everything out and start from scratch and build it back up. But when I first started, I was using like a drill with a buffing wheel on it, like this. And I would just, but you can only get but so far with this. And if you're not careful, when you start trying to buff around these areas here, you'll end up scuffing this plate. So I don't play those this like that anymore. I take everything apart. If I'm gonna do it, I go all in. Besides, I'm also servicing the unit for the customer. So, if there's something going on, something needs to change, I want to know what it is before I give it back to them. Okay, so let's start by dismantling. I'm going to show you like a little part. I'm not going to have you like sit through this whole thing. I'll show you a little part of what I do, and I went from this, okay, to using something like this, okay? And I have it on this board here, so I can move it around from the shop to my workshop at home. So, and I may just end up getting a second one because I don't want to keep going back and forth like this. I used to only do them in the workshop because this stuff, when you buff, it throws, aluminum and the fibers from the bristles. It's all over the place. So I didn't want the shop to be filled with all that soot. So now, before I had a unit to try to take the stuff out of the shop. And now I kind of do it outside. Save myself a whole lot of that stress. All right, so here we go. Let's start stripping this down. I'm gonna tilt the camera down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And let me see if I can get it to the right. There you go, look at that, all right? That'll work? Okay, so I wanna get this cord off first. So I'm gonna use a T15. Take it off the cord off the side. These two little things right here. Okay. And then, here we go. And I believe this one is a T20 or 25. I believe it's a 20. All right. And let's get off the cap for the cord. All right, get this off. All right, so got that cord out the way. Let's get the scuff plate off. And with this, I'm just gonna kind of push up a little bit and pop it out. So this is all. So this is gonna need to be cleaned and believe it or not, you know what I use to clean these? simple spray cleaner, and sometimes just a toothbrush. Works fast. I also have, this ready to go, but yeah, you'd be surprised that this toothbrush works. All right, so now let's get this off. All right. Okay. So now this is off, right? Wow. Okay. So this is what I'm looking at inside here. So this is all, that's why all of this have to be taken out, cleaned out properly to really, to do the job right. Okay? So, all right, so let's focus on this piece of metal here and give you an idea of what I'm talking about. All right. So, first thing I'm going to do, let's get off the strips, and I'm going to just clean this down a little bit, because what's going to happen if I buff it like this, if I start like this, most of the energy from the buffer is going to be using to remove the dirt. So I don't want to waste that time. So I'm going to kind of spray down a little bit, and this time I'll use this. Okay. I wipe this down some. Okay, now there's something on here that is a little hard. So try your best not to dig in too hard on the metal, because having scratches already is tough enough to deal with. Okay, so I'll fairly explain how to get scratches out. Let me explain that, because I wasn't prepared to even go into scratches right now. But this is what I do with the scratches. Okay, I get a hand sander. Okay, and I start with if it's very deep, I'll start with maybe an 80. But 80 is too. I wouldn't go there first. Okay, because it's tougher to get the little mini scratches that the 80 would make to remove the big scratches, right? It takes a lot to get that out. So this is the pattern I go in. I'll go with maybe 120, 180, okay? Sand it down. Then I move to like a 220 or 320. Then I go to a 400. By the time I get to 400, now it's in a position where I can now use that buffer to just buff it. But if you're going to try to buff out the deep scratches, you're going to be there forever. So it's best you first wear it down some, okay, to a manageable kind of texture, and then you can go from there. Okay, so that's something for those of you guys who are really kind of getting in hardcore to do this, right? All right, so now that we got it to where we cleaned up the metal a little bit, okay, we got most of that stuff out of there, just to kind of show you the difference in where the dirt was prior. That's kind of the difference. See that? Okay, so that was the prior, and that's now. All right. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's get the buffing wheel up here. All right. Now, normally I would get a screwdriver, a drill and put this down. I don't want to mess up the desk here, so I'm just gonna have to be very gentle with this. All right, so now the compound that I'm using, I normally use 3, but right now I only have 2 at my disposal right now for the video. The first one I would use is if you go to like Lowe's or you order on Amazon or something, you have the green, which is for the final, near to final, because some people would use a light blue to do the real finish, but I really just stop at green. And then you have this brown, which is help you to the mid-grade, but I normally would start with a gray. It's the level 1. It's that metal cutting, metal cleaning one. So I'll start with the gray, then the brown, and the green. That's kind of the route I go. So right now, and then I'm using. If you look at how tight this is, I start here, and then I wrap it up with the kind of fluff. Okay, so let's see how this works. All right. And the way I do it, this is facing. Let me see where it's turning. It's turning away from me. It's turning away from me. So when I put this on here, be very careful not to have this hit the back. It'll fly. It'll send it off flying somewhere. All right. So here we go. Let me start here. I'll put a little bit on. I think I'm gonna turn this away from the camera and away from stuff because, like I told you before, stuff's gonna be flying all over the place. All right, so I'll do one part of this because we're not gonna have all day for that. Okay, and also, my bad, for you guys, protective glasses. If you're indoors, put on a mask. If you don't want your clothes to get all the soot all over you, let me turn this off real quick. I have one of these kind of aprons that I normally would use when I'm doing a really, detailed, really big job. Put this on to protect my clothes. I'm just doing this little quick thing here for you, but definitely the eyes, because stuff is always flying at you, so be careful with that, all right? All right, so now I'm gonna go to the other side. So far, this is where I got so far. See that? All right, so now I'm gonna go to the other side real quick. And you can kind of, if you're patient, you can see how far you want to go. All right, let me see if I can get up close here. See that? So, big difference, right? Okay. Well, kind of, there's a before, there's this after we cleaned it, and then there's this after we did the first layer of buffing. All right, and if you need to go more, then you just go more. But that's kind of what I would go through to get these machines up and ready, okay? But again, probably the most important part really is to servicing the unit and stripping it down, because you saw what was inside of that thing just opening the first section. All right, and let me go one more. Let's go just a level down. Let's go down a little bit further. Before I go, let's go down a little further. All right, just kind of, try not to lose anything. You're gonna have to put everything back. All right. So, look at that. All right. So, and this is probably my favorite part to polish, because it's easy to handle and you just buff them up real fast, no big deal. But that's that's what we do. We strip everything down, and then one at a time we'll buff the metal, clean out everything, service the motor, the machine, and then reassemble everything and put it back together. So if you have any more questions on that, let me know. Just I'm available. couple of guys call me on the phone and just talk to me and then let me know what they need help with. Please subscribe if the videos are helping you and you want to find a way to support the channel. There's a donate link down below. We have a donate option on my website. You can go ahead and do that. That'd be grateful. Everything helps. Production, equipment, and just being able to get machines so we can just get a machine that people would want me to work on and show them how to fix. But anyway, that's that, guys. Until next time. All right. Also, for those of you who just want to, like I said, I told you you can use the flits. Is a great tool. Sometimes when you're buffing, let me show you something. Sometimes when you're buffing these machines, you would have like chunks like left over in areas, like especially in like little crevices that the buffing can't really get to. And this is a great thing that I use also to just wrap up the job. Okay, let me show you. All right, so I will do that, right, and then it will just easily just take away the excess. And even, now on the rough areas, like, you see that patch right there? This is not really, I mean, unless you have like flash style powers or something, you're not going to be able to get that with just this. So you want to use something stronger for that, okay? But that's what I would use that for, to help clean up that extra stuff, okay? Or if you have a machine, you just want to maintain it. This is good for that. It's called flits. Okay, this says right? Yeah, flits. You can find this on our website also. All right, guys. Until next time. Adios. All right, guys. Here's the finished product. Okay. I gotta clean this off right here. But yeah. I mean, considering what I had to work with, this is definitely a lot better. All right, guys. Till next time.